Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide online valuation services for mediation and litigation based in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we will discuss Donald Trump's tax return, and it's really a case study for divorce attorneys and what to look at in a personal tax return with Jason Soman. He's a valuation expert in Boca Raton, Florida. He owns his own firm, Accounting and Valuation LLC, and he's specializing in business valuation and forensic accounting in the context of divorce. Welcome, Jason. How are
Thank you,
you?
Melissa, for having me. It's a pleasure to be back on.
This is another Schedule E that people might see. And, let's talk a little bit about what does this look like? What is the purpose of this? Like, what is this telling us, if anything?
Absolutely. So, when we're looking at Schedule E includes rental real estate, royalties, partnerships, S corps, estates, trusts. The particular page that we're looking at is not rental property, it's actually royalties. So, what this tells me is that there's a stream of income coming to Donald Trump from royalties. If we look at line 19 in column A, that the first column, we'll see that there's a book writer fee. So my assumption, and what happens when you make assumptions, but for purposes of this discussion, there's $133,000 in royalties coming in. There's $44,000 in book writing fees going out. So I'm sure that this relates to a book that he's written or will write or will release or whatnot. But it's important because I'm going to want to understand, as a divorce forensic accountant, what are the royalties related to it? Are these going to end in 2 years? Can he reasonably be expected to receive about 90,000 in income from these royalties? Is there an asset that are these going to continue into perpetuity? And there's, potentially a intangible asset that we need to divide. Maybe there's value to this intangible property that he's receiving royalties from. And I think that opens up a whole other can of worms in between what's income and what's an asset. But I think nonetheless, it should kind of make your antennas go up and start asking questions in terms of, well, what are these royalties for? How long are they going to last? What documents should be available that could help explain these royalties? So, I mean, this is interesting. You don't see this every day. I don't think Trump will be able to say he wrote his own book because there's a book writer fee. So, I mean, there's all types of little things that you learn in a tax return, right? Like, who is the book writer fee paid to? Maybe, I don't know, depending on how litigious people may get, maybe they want to know what was said or what was provided to the book writing company, right? Maybe they want.
Numbers always tell a story. They always
Absolutely.
tell a story. Like, they don't tell us the whole story. Was it a book already written? Is it a book coming up? But we can clearly see that it happened in 2020. And what is the result? Things like that. So, I mean, I think that that is, I think that's one of the most interesting parts of it. Like,